Well, that's kind of been a big discussion. We've changed it kind of probably 3 or 4 times as a staff, and basically what we've ended with is that we want to get as many returning starters on the field as possible. So the best way to do that is by moving a guy like Connor McGovern in there to center. Bates is a guy that could do that as well, but kind of the way I think we're looking at this right now for the start of spring ball is having McGovern at center, having Simpson at center. They're both guys that have done it before in practice, and we feel like we can go out and practice well right from day one with those guys. And then also we got Menet in there rotating, and Miranda, being able to rotate in there as well. So those guys will be playing guard and center, but what we didn't want to have some guys at center the first couple days of practice that haven't really done it in practice before, and now our practice has become sloppy and messy. So let's have those guys compete, those interior linemen. We kind of think about those guys, they have to be interchangeable anyway. The centers and guards have to be interchangeable. Tackles typically are kind of on their own, but we've even had that. You look at Brendan Mann's been able to play tackle and guard successfully. You look at Bates has been able to play tackle and guard successfully as well. But typically, your centers and guards need to be interchangeable, and your tackles usually are just a different body type, different type of athlete. So, I think Coach Limegrover's done a really good job. We've been forced in our past to be interchangeable just based on numbers, where now we're doing it just to make sure that we can kind of get the best 5 on the field, or the best 2 deep, best 10 in a 2 deep situation. So that's how we're going to start spring ball, but I'm not sure it necessarily finish that way. We'll just kind of see. Well, I think the wide receivers, probably last year was kind of the ideal. Is you feel like you have a first team that you're really excited about, that you feel like you got a second team that can come in and contribute and keep the production at the level you need it to be to win. And then you have a third team of young, exciting guys that you're really kind of looking forward to see what they're going to do in their future. That you look down the depth chart and you say, you know what, I'm really excited about these young players. And you want that at every position. You want a starter, you want a backup that you feel like can get some reps and keep guys fresh, and also make sure that when he does play that the production stays at a similar level. And then you want a young, exciting player that's coming up behind him and developing and working on some of their weaknesses, whether it's physical things that they need to work on, emotional things, mental things, whatever it may be. Juwan is a very mature kid, very businesslike with his approach. Got a lot of ability, got a huge frame. Comes from a football family. His brother plays in the NFL, so I think those guys like that, they've learned a lot of football by just being around it. Saeed was a guy going into last season. We thought he was going to have a breakout year, and then had some injuries that you guys were not privy to, but had some injuries that kind of slowed him down in the beginning of the season. I expect the same thing. I expect him to have a huge spring and a huge off season, and go and have a monster year this year and stay healthy. And then Irv's a guy that has got a lot of ability, as much ability probably as any guy that I've been around in college. Him and Juwan are very similar in that way, and he showed some real strong flashes. And I think what you're looking for in all young players is consistency. There's a lot of really talented players that can do it, once out of every 4 times. But can you get to 2 out of every 4? Can you get to 3 out of every 4? And that's when you have a chance to really start kind of making a move. And I got to say, Irv has probably matured as much as anybody in our program from the time that he's got here. I had my end of the year meetings. I meet with every player on the team, and my meeting with him was really good. I mean, really good. We had a great conversation. He was very open. He was very honest. That showed trust. That showed a relationship. And with that, you're able to, kind of really help him grow as a player. as a student, as a person. I know that's what he wants. Aaron Monroe's another guy that, my meeting with him last night, I texted, Coach Banks that I was kind of just blown away by some of the things that were coming out of Aaron Monroe's mouth. Perspective and growth and maturity, and, really taking an honest look at himself and strengths and weaknesses and where he needs to improve. It's really cool. I mean, that's kind of what I love about college football. You kind of go into these guys' homes and you kind of recruit them, and they come here and they get humbled and they got to work their way back up, and you kind of see them growing in all these different areas, and kind of got a good feel of what their strengths and weaknesses are before they show up. But it's really pretty cool to watch these guys grow up in all these different areas. And, I think those two guys are a really good example of it.